Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Reach out to us directly. Email tmosso at the1916company.com. Today we discuss a launch from SIHH 2019, the final run of the Great Geneva Watch Show before COVID. This ensured the show went out on a high. New for the year was Vacheron Constantin's Fiftysix collection, and this is the Fiftysix self-winding. Based on the 1956 reference 6073, the only real element that nods to the old design, these little triangular facets at each corner of the case. This is not a re-edition or a retro watch. It's very much its own modern machine. 40 millimeters in diameter in rose gold. It is 9.9 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip. 48 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The watch wears nicely on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Being a Vacheron, it needs to be viable with dress cuffs, and you can see it is with a stepped and sloped case flank and a sub 10 millimeter overall thickness. The strap is high grade calfskin. You can see a little bit of a vintage look with some bolstering to give it volume and an off-white contrasting stitch. We have a sheer cut side, calfskin on the bottom, brand new strap, no crimping, no gouging. You can see it as a Vacheron factory strap. We have a small rose gold pin buckle with Vacheron's Maltese cross logo. You'll see it on the dial. You'll see it on the crown. You will see it on the rotor. Dial side, we can see lots to love. There's a little bit of a soft bevel or a soft crease that runs along the flank of the case. Everything's in high polish. There's a bit of a teardrop undertuck to the lug profiles. The crown, in good taste, is slightly countersunk so it doesn't stick out obtrusively. It features knurling, a conical profile, the Vacheron Maltese cross. Then we have those little winglets or wedges at the corner that do nod towards the rather polygonal and angular 6073. This is more of a round case. This does not look like the original. It is its own beast. On the dial side, we have a combination of different finishes. So the center is opaline or non-directional frosted grain, and then under the hours, we have a radial sunburst. We have all applique rose gold indices and numerals with a lovely open 6, baton-style hands, including a lancet counterweighted second sand in rose gold. We actually have a fair amount of luminescence here. This is a pretty practical watch overall, so you can read the time. In good taste, Vacheron gives us the same font on the date disc. Note the 6's match. And then we have a brown or brown bronze date disc, the same color as the dial. Again, good move, Vacheron. Railroad track outboard for reading minutes and seconds, and a piano key style track inboard. Pull the crown out. There is a hacking seconds function. There is also a quick set, so you can rapidly cycle the date if you wish to do so. The watch includes a movement that's actually a Richemont corporate piece. You'll find it in a couple of different forms, developed by Valfleurier. It first debuted as the Cartier MC 1904. And this is actually a better finished version of it, primarily because you get this unique rotor in 22 karat gold. It features ceramic bearings for high efficiency winding. We have polishing, satination, beveling, media blast, and snailing, all of them on this rotor. You can also see that the beveling here is a cut above what you get on the Cartier. I would compare it to something you'd find on a series production Audemars Piguet, though this is not a Geneva hallmark movement. That is not to say you're getting the movement in Cartier spec. It is quite a good deal better than that, right down to the stripes, the polished screws, the bevels that are neat, broad, if admittedly mostly machined. But this is very much a Vacheron spec version of that movement. And again, it aligns with what you would get from Audemars Piguet in their watches. We have a 4 hertz beat rate, a stop seconds function, a quick set date. We have 25 pivot jewels, a 48-hour power reserve, and twin mainspring barrels in series to provide a very even, progressive, and flat torque curve. So this watch will keep excellent time for most of its power reserve. So it is an excellent timekeeper, and it can be adjusted precisely through the use of Edicron. I actually like to see this system since it is peerless for fine adjustments and beat error correction. It makes dialing in the watch very, very easy. And then all of this water resistant down to 30 meters. A true all-arounder and a lovely watch to introduce yourself to the Holy Trinity. Some people have a problem with a non-manufactured movement in a Vacheron, to which I answer, Vacheron was an établisseur using purchased movements from its inception to 2000. Until the year 2000, Vacheron, card-carrying member of the Holy Trinity, always bought the best movements available, finished them, adjusted them, and installed them in cases that were beautifully rendered in every regard, with dials, fit, finish, and materials to match. This is the heart and soul of historical Vacheron. For most of its first 250 years, watches like this, not the manufacture movements, were what made Vacheron great. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916 Company for purchase and pricing details.